Green Growth Cascadia. This is Jeannie Akitanza, and I was lucky enough to get Chuck Wolfe to meet with us. Chuck has been a blogger on myurbanist, and I'd like to give us a little view of what Chuck does. Chuck, why don't you tell us about yourself and what you do?
Well, hi Jeannie, thanks for having me in. myurbanist is actually a extension of what I do professionally. I'm a full-time environmental and land use lawyer, and myurbanist is my 1 hour per night avocation, I guess. I have been practicing environmental and land use law for about 26 years, mostly in the Seattle area, and I work on a lot of redevelopment issues in our region and brownfield redevelopment and related land use permitting and that type of thing.
Cool. And one of the things we've seen on myurbanist and in your career that you do follow a lot of green issues. One of the things we'd like to know a little bit about is in your travels, which we see a lot of in your wonderful pictures. We'd like to know what you think of Seattle versus some of the practices you're seeing around the world, and the world versus what you see in Seattle. What are some of the great things you see here?
Well, we have a lot going for us here, and as many other people have said, sometimes we maybe get a little bit overconfident in terms of our place on the green chart internationally. I think what readily you find if you look around the world and around the country is that certainly things have realigned in the past couple of years, in particular in our country, with the Obama administration prioritizing community development in a very linked way, thinking about the relationships between land use and transportation, new emphasis on biking, walking, and so on and so forth. But this is a question of context, and what I find in my travels, and I know others do as well, is these goals need to be looked at very carefully through the local lens. And sometimes we all have a passion to apply these cool ideas indiscriminately, and we have to be very careful in doing so. It's, as I've tried to write in some of the blog entries, and as I often counsel clients, it's a question of context. And for instance, we often find that we are envious of what has been achieved under tremendous political constraints elsewhere, under different systems of government, under a whole different context in which these issues appear. And I think sometimes we need to be a little more careful, without talking about them too much in our unique regional way, to give a very clear eye to who we are, what we're doing, what the end goals are, and look at things a little more deeply than we tend to do.
That's perfect. Thanks, Chuck, and we'll see you on the blog world, and talk to you later.